Welcome back to Taylor by Nature, where I discuss topic pertaining to nature or a true nurturer. Today's topic of discussion is about the Giza pyramid. And I know many of you guys have been inundated with information regarding the pyramid and what's taking place in Gaza or in Egypt right now. And I see many people that actually have written about this information, like Billy Carson. He spoke about that in the Emerald text regarding what they have found under the pyramid there, which is part of the Giza pyramids. And so I'm just kind of bring some highlights, or I guess older information that perceive the English language regarding the pyramid, which I don't see anyone discussing, or they may not have information about it, but no one is really digging into the information itself and see from where this I guess these people who so-called build the pyramid, where they came from, what's their connection to us and their connection to the earth and everything else. So I'm gonna like touch on some different subjects because everyone pretty much is repeating the same thing. I guess everyone watched the news, watch the media, they're repeating the same thing over and over. Um, and so here's some of the discussion that I see kind of missing from what everyone is pretty much speaking about. And so one of the first question is who built them? Based on I guess the ancient texts, and if you look at for the Aramaic language, the way words and I guess when you see like a word or title of something, the way to find out what that word is speaking of is to first try to decipher the word. And as far as the English language is concerned, as far as the American English language, a lot of the words that we use contain letters or root words that that correlates or derive from the Aramaic language. Because when Noah Webster was building the American dictionary, or his dictionary, the Webster dictionary, he actually used Western Shemitic use the Western Shemitic language as the foundation of for its definitions and understanding of what sounds and words actually mean. And so we have to go back to what the English language was based on. So if we go back to what it was based on, we could decipher what these words actually mean. So interestingly, within the word pyramid, we actually see the word within the word pyramid. See the letters IYR. And when we look in the Hebrew lexicon, the word, the IYR, is in the Hebrew lexicon. What does it say? It pertains to, it is pronounced ear, which is EER. So it's written as IYR, but it's pronounced EER, and it pertains to watcher angel. So within the word pyramid, we see the word angel, which, like I said, words or our names correlates to actions. And within the word pyramid, we see the word angel. So this is one of the first hidden information that we see within the word itself. So everyone is looking everywhere when within the word itself, it tells you who the architects are or the builders are. Of course, other people try to replicate other versions of it, but the structures that we see that can be explain how they get these for the structures together. These are the people who actually build these structures. So another question we ask: who are these so-called builders? Or we refer to them as angels. The angel is like a umbrella term for these people. In the Aramaic, it says they are pale and white like the moon, and they resemble white men. So you have to ask yourself, so who are these so-called angels, right? So when we look across time or look across history, we see different names. So think of angel as an umbrella term. But within that, you have Anunnakis, you got serpent, you got mighty ones, you got Els, you got seraph, you got archon, you got seraph, you got seraphine. So these description is just telling you what. So when someone express a name, it's talking about actions. So when you look at these different words that I just mentioned, within those words are letters that express actions, what people experience with them, and what they have done, which correlate to their name. So that's how name function within the ancient times. It's based on, we said you're judged by your actions. Yeah, that's your name. You're judged by your name, your action. So within that, and also you see the word, you first see the word genie. I know a lot of people have heard of the word genie, right? And when the word genie is, oh, genie, build me this. People get wishes. What genie do? The genie could build you and do anything for you because that's what it do. So within the word engineer is the word genie. A lot of people miss that correlation as well. So a lot of these words that we see today, they actually contain information about what's taking place today. So the word engineer is there in the word engineer. Within the word engineer is the word genie. So when we see these structures and we see these vast caverns and cities under the earth and all these different things, these people had technology, and that's how they actually got to earth. When you look in the Aramaic text, it tells you that war broke out in heaven. Heaven is a term for wherever they came from. So they refer to, in the Bible, in English, it's called it heaven. But of course, that's a anglicized version of whatever it was called. So you have to think about that. So they came here, and they tend to write them because they're still part of our society, because the children are here, and some of them are here as well. Like I said, they blend in. They look like white men. So within this faction we see in the earth, there are some that's trying to reveal things, and there's some trying to hide things. So like I said, when you see people on TV saying things, a lot of time they're trying to discourage people from looking more into the information. But like I said, we're in a time of the apocalypse, the age of the apocalypse, where our lips will reveal this information. It's like we're in a new cycle. And this information, like I said, the pen of the scribe is in vain. Even though they try to hide the information, this information is going to come out regardless. It's going to come out. One of the telltale sign when you actually look at the Shemitic writing, which they translate into so-called English to hide the information, you still see the information is still there, but you have to look a little bit deeper, because I guess the English language create a veil, and the Bible is a complex cipher which they wrote on purpose. Why? To hide the information of who these angels are, who their descendants are, and who their children are within the earth today. So the first book in the Bible is a big clue, and most people miss that. The first book in the Bible is the word Genesis, right? What is the root of what is the root of the word Genesis? So within the word Genesis is the word genes. So the word Genesis is an informal plural for the word genes. What is genes? A unit of heredity that is transferred from parent to offspring, that carries some characteristic that bears some characteristic on the offspring. So when you see the way people look and resemble in the Bible, it says, let us make man in our image and likeness. So when you see this image and likeness in people, you realize that, yeah, these things did happen. And you read the book of Enoch, it tells you that the angels came down after the flood, and they took wives of all who they chose. That means there was this running rapid through the earth. Taking wives mean intercourse. That's what marriage is, intercourse. So there was spreading the seed all through the earth, which, like I said, it was forbidden to do because it's the mixing of diverse seeds. And you see this, they try to hide it the best way they can, but if you actually translate the words and stuff in the Bible, you will see that the information is really available to you. One such instance where we see this happening is actually, before I get to that, um, we normally heard like a Navajo tribe say that they are the term star brothers or stuff like that as far as prophecies and stuff, and you be considered star brothers. How does that work? See, just like you have a family here on Earth, there's a universal family as well. And a lot of people, because, like I said, we speak English and we think that we're the only ones in existence. As a matter of fact, we are the youngest of existence. Youngest. So we have all other elder brothers. They call, I hope you try to call them star brothers. So keep in mind, when you read the book of like Genesis, when we see Genesis 3 verse 3, when you see they were told, Adam and Eve, so-called Adam and Eve were told, that's not Adam and Eve, that's not their name. In Hebrews, they are called Ada wa Ama, and the name Eden or Adan is pretty much telling us the location they were in. Remember, names in Aramaic function very differently. They function as adjectives and verbs, so it's telling you something characteristic, location. You're giving like a coordinates to who, where they're from, what they're about, and their action within the earth. So names in the past function very. It was very, when someone give you a name, it actually have meaning and definition to it. You could look at a name and tell a lot about a person. Unlike now, where people just name someone just to name them, it doesn't work that way in the past. So the past was much more sophisticated versus today, where everything is nilly-willy and people just do stuff for the sake of doing it. Like I said, we're speaking a language it doesn't have any life to it, I guess I could put it that term, versus the Aramaic, which the letters are aligned with numbers. So you can literally send a message within a name. So when someone names someone, they're literally giving you a description, detailed description about that person. They don't put letters together for the sake of it. They put it together because there's meaning behind it. So much different thinking versus today. So like I said, when you look in Genesis 3 verse 3, you'll see that we see the first, I guess the first interaction when we see that Adam and Eve was told not to eat of the tree, right? So remember, in Aramaic, the people, the way the Aramaic is written from right to left. It reads from right to left. So pretty much a lot of the words that we see in English, they're mirrored. So the word tree is actually mirrored. Remember I said earlier that the word IYR is pronounced ear. The word tree is speaking of an angel. Of course, there was actual trees there, but it was saying not to eat of this particular tree. It was talking about an angel. Why? The reason why they were warned not to eat of a tree, because Eve, her womb was made for the tree of a earth male, or a male from earth, or of earth. Her womb was never meant for no other tree. And the tree they were talking about, it was Adam's elder brother who is from somewhere else. Remember I told you they came here by way of technology. So when the whole situation was going on in the garden, one of them were there. I said a bunch of them was there. And they were told not to touch or eat of it. Why? Because it's different species. And those species, touching them or having intercourse with them could damage or cause virus or something, infection, if you touch or eat of it. Touch or eat is pertaining to intercourse. So that's what they were told. Like I said, her womb was made for this, to carry the seed of a man, not to carry the seed of an angel or someone that's made outside of earth, someone that was not complementary to her. Remember, Adam and Eve are complementary to each other. The seraph or angels are not complementary to us. If we intercourse with them, we'll die. So that's why they were warned not to touch and eat of it. So when you look at that, that's where they see the tree. And like I said, tree, the word tree, IOR, is in the word pyramid. And they came here. Why? They came here through technology. So war, whatever they were, war broke out. They came here. When they came here, remember, Adam and Eve were actually given they said people said the Most High or the Creator. The Creator gave them Earth as their home, and they were told to be fruitful and multiplying within the earth. I mean, to fill the earth with their offspring, supposed to have children that resemble them. Like I said, and the reason why they got punished is because they were warned not to eat of that particular tree, because that tree was never meant to have offspring here within the earth. And so, of course, Eve, she did, and when she did, she brought forth Cain and Abel, which resembles their father, the seraph. And so that's where sin and death came into the earth, because Cain and Abel, they were a different kind because of the mixing of two unique species. So as you see, this information goes way deep. It's just that because we speak English, this information is not really available. And so, like I said, we have to take the time to look into these things and make sense of what's really going on. And like I said, how does the pyramid connect to us? Another question. Like I said, it connects to us because, like I mentioned before, they were in the garden. They came here, and they had technology, and they built cities under the earth, just like what they say about what's going on with the pyramid in Egypt. And the pyramid identify them. I'm pretty sure you guys probably heard this term, X marked the spot. X marked the spot because when you view a pyramid from upside down, from above, it's an X. That's how it looks. So X marked the spot. So all these things are just phrases and terms that we miss because we are speaking English. So like I said, when we look at things, we have to try to look at things in a more organic way, how things happen within the earth. And the way things happen with the earth is still happening to this day. Birds still fly. And so when someone say they put wings on angels or these people, they was telling us that they had the technology to fly here. And a verse that tells us that it's actually Ezekiel 10 verse 10, where it says a wheel within a wheel. And when you see the wheel within a wheel, another person that brought that up, which a lot of people think that he was making stuff up. But like I said, a lot of information that we see is that people miss this information, and people tend to ridicule people based on the information that they're given, and because they don't have a certain, I guess, college degree or something like that, people think that the information is not relevant. To Terrence Howard, he actually kind of bring us into to an insight where we could see like lynchpin technology. So Ezekiel 10 verse 10 is literally talking about a lynchpin technology. So and when you do, so pretty much what the lynchpin technology was is a pyramid. When you look at it, the energy on all the signatures is like a pyramid, right? It's the spaces in between, like if you have a circle, the spaces in between the circle, within that, it creates like a pyramid. It's the energy within there. So when you see pyramids and stuff, these are, like Billy Carson said, these are energy generators. And you see the same thing with the lynchpin technology. And when you see these things fly, they could fly in any direction. When he said a wheel within a wheel, and it could go, when Ezekiel explains it, you could go from either direction. As a matter of fact, that the moon vehicle, NASA, they actually use the writings from Ezekiel to create the vehicle that actually went to the moon, or supposed to went to the moon, where the vehicle could drive in any direction on the ground. And so the vehicle that they had, it could fly in a direction because it was a linchpin technology where it have all access to direction of forest flight, and when it gets on the ground, it have all direction of forest movement on the ground. So this, like I said, these people came here because something happened wherever they were. Something happened, and they came here. And when they came here, there were certain things that they weren't supposed to do, and they know they weren't supposed to do it. But like I said, they broke the law, and that's why it said all sin are attributed to Azazel. Why does it say that? Because in the Hebrew language, the letter Zah means to cut off. That's what the word Zah means. So with the name Azazel, you see the word Zah. It means to cut off, and that's what happened to them. They was genetically cut off, and as far as genetically compromised, which cut them off. And cut off mean death. That's what cut off mean death. And so even in the English language itself, the last letter of the English language is the letter Z or Z, which is the end, to cut off. So you see these correlations over and over. And one of the understanding within the Hebrew language is that all things are connected. So we have to change our hearts and mind to connect all things within nature, because they was all created by one designer. So everything is connected. And once we start connecting things, and that's where the understanding and the fulfillment of our environment come to full light within us. Because everything is within us. It does that we're looking outside. And when you look outside, they get a false impression of what's really taking place, because they're feeding you ideology when everything is within you. So, and that's one of the things we have to take. We have to take that back, because the English language creates a veil, and the veil is to hide. What does the veil do? It hides the truth. We cannot see what we need to see. I mean, of course, we're actually universally, I would say, blind, because we only see like maybe less than 5% of the light spectrum. So in a way, we are blind by that. So that's a whole nother story. But another place we could look and see this, I guess, their existence is within like videos. I'm pretty sure a lot of people watch Rihanna, right? Probably like Rihanna. And we see these Rihanna videos of the one she made, which when she was had an umbrella, and she was chanting Ella, 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 A. She was calling the name of an angel. You notice all the angels in the Bible name got L in it. Mean away. I mean they went away from where they were to here. That's why the word El is in the name, because it's telling us that they went away from their own abode to our abode. And so in the video, she was yelling Ella, Ella, and you see her in a pyramid. Make the connection now, right? So you see her in a pyramid. You see her with a serpent or a snake between the legs. What is that talking about? It's talking about humans and angel mixing. That's why she have the serpent or the snake between her legs. So whenever you see snakes crawling between the legs of females, it's pretty much invoking what took place in the past of angels mixing themselves into the human gene pool, which they were not authorized to do. So these things are all around us. We watch movies about them. You see movies like where they got shapeshifters and all these things. Yeah. So the angels, they have this Watchers. I'm pretty sure people see the movie The Watchers. They have the ability to mimic. They could mimic things. They mimic humans. They mimic all these things. So in the first mimicry and psychology was used in the so-called Garden of Eden, when the seraph mimic Adam, and he was a pale version of Adam, who was melanated, and he used psychology to trick Eve into having intercourse. So, like I said, these things happen, but like I said, the Bible, it doesn't tell you anything about these things. Remember, our body is a complex chemical process. We live in a biological environment, which so you have chemistry and you have physiology. These are so chemistry and physiology is what our Creator. That's so everything function within the earth. So you have to go back and think about we're in a natural world and get away from religious dogmas and ideologies and stuff, because these things, what it does, it fogs and clogs up your mind and make you think of these like spiritual this and spiritual that. These things actually physical beings, that things that happen within the earth, and they came here and they made it with the daughters of men. In the book of Enoch, it tells us that. So these they create giants, and the word giants and the word Gentile is actually the same word. Look at the continents within there, G and T. So all these things are connected. Like I said, we just have a little bit deeper to get a better understanding of really what's taking place within the earth today, because everything is coming to light, and we have to pay attention not to get deceived by what's really what they're trying to do. We also see another Bible verse, which is Matthew 13, verse 33, where he speaks of the leaven, and it speaks of the ephah measure. So the word ephah, when you say ephah measure, the word ephah is talking about triple or triangle. So triple, triangle, or three folds. That's the ephah measure. Again, we see the word triangle, which correlates to pyramid. And we see the word leaven. Most people think leaven is actually yeast. Yet leaven is not yeast. The word leaven means to mix. So when you read the Bible and see the word leaven, it's talking about angels mixing themselves into the human gene pool. Another verse, I don't remember the verse itself, but where I think, I'm not finding the name of the prophet who saw angels coming from heaven, ascending and descending to heaven, and he saw them on a ladder. So the ladder represents the human DNA. That's another way angel mixing himself into the human gene pool. Another Bible verse, Genesis 3, verse 15, that tells us that there will be enmity between the two seed, the offspring of Adam and the offspring of the seraph, which is, they say the word woman in there, but it doesn't mean actually female. So you see that it said the two would not get along. And so there's enmity. And when you see the word enmity actually translates to hatred. And when someone hates you, they kill you and they replace you. So it's a replacement. You have the offspring of the seraph, the angel, who is trying to replace the offspring of Adam to take dominion over the earth. Another verse is Daniel's 2, verse 43. It said, "Whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay." So the word iron is talking about something from outside the earth, which is angels. And the word miry clay is talking about human females mixing with iron, which is angels. And it says in the verse that two will not get along because iron does not mix with clay. So the offspring of the seraph and the offspring of Adam will not get along. And so we see all these fighting and stuff within the earth because the two was not meant to get along. And like I said, this information, or what we see right now as far as the pyramids are concerned, it goes very deeper than what that they're saying. Like I said, the Bible and the English language, it's a veil, and it's been hiding the truth of our reality. But as I said, as is prophesied, the pen of the scribe is in vain. And so the information will be released, and it will come to light what's really taking place within the earth. And that's where we are right now. Like I said, we are in the age of the apocalypse, and our lips will reveal the truth of our true environment, our true nurturer, which is nature, which is our true nurturer, and not religion or ideology. Those things cannot nurture us. Our nurturer is nature, and we have to return to nature in order for us to survive. Because this information was written for this time. It was written as an inheritance for the children of Israel, for them to resprout. That's what the word Israel means. It means to resprout. It was written for them to resprout, to be able to survive during this time. And so that's what information is doing, is open up, getting the ability to get back to what is important as in regard to self-care, self-sufficiency, and self-governing. And that's the window that's being opened up right now for them to return to nature, which was made by the Creator for us on earth as our nurturer. And that's the only thing that's going to sustain us, make us healthy, and live a healthy and prosperous life. So I hope this information helped. I know it's kind of long, but that's pretty much my view on the pyramid and how the people that build them and their effects and correlation to us today. And like I said, we are told not to worship anything above, on, or below the earth. We are warned not to do that. So, like I said, and because we are warned not to do that, we shouldn't be worshiping anything. What we should be doing is we should be doing what we were told, to be fruitful and multiplying and take care of family as far as in self-care, self-sufficiency, and self-governing. No one should be governed over anyone. We should govern our own family and live a prosperous life here on earth, because everything was given to us. So I hope this information helps, and talk to you guys next time.